Hey everybody, Mark here again. Hey, okay, so I got all the parts finally that I needed so we could do these chassis builds. I got all the parts for the Viper NSX 2 ohm turbo build and the Tyco 2.8 ohm. Going to focus on the Viper build in this video, but I wanted to run something by you guys real quick. I picked up the bulkheads that have the bushing in them, and I went ahead and put this in because I wanted to see if it needed any spacers, and it's just really tight. Like there's no spacers in it right now at all. I mean, it spins, but I don't know if those bushings need to be, I don't know, shaved down a little bit or not, but it just feels tighter than it should be. So let me know what you guys think I should do with that. Anyway, back to this video. So I have a Viper stiff chassis for this build since it's a high downforce. These are level 25 cobalt magnets that I've already put in high downforce. They have a little shim that they come with because they're not full height. I've already put the guide pin in and the hangers, going with gold plated hangers and gold plated pickup shoes. Pro 10 motor magnets. And here's our 2 ohm. I have a little 0.1 spacer, and I ended up putting 2 more spacers here because this had quite a bit of movement in it. So let's go ahead and first thing I did, I already drilled out. I don't know if you could see that on the Viper chassis. It has those 2 little guide holes. You can get yourself one of these tiny little hand drills and all these little drill bits. I ended up using the number 3 and number 4. I think they're 0.3 and 0.4 millimeter. Did a good job of drilling out the hole for those little pins. If you want to pin your axle, you just got to go real slow and real steady and level with that drill because you could snap those bits pretty easily. So I've already done that. So I'm going to go ahead now and we're going to put the motor together. So we have our armature. You need to take your bulkhead with the tabs up, and this tab facing is going to face towards the end bell so that it locks in like that. So I got my little spacer on the front there. I've already put my spacers and my bearing. I'm using a ball bearing bushing, and this end bell has ball bearing bushings as well. So we're going to go ahead and spread this out with your little tool. This back on. Get that in there like that. Okay, so that feels good. So we've got that. I usually build the car with the front facing my left. So you're going to take the white dot motor magnet, make sure that's on facing up. I call it facing up, but I don't know if it's really facing up, but facing out that way so that it's going to go in the car like that. And there's also this little kind of spacer cover. I don't know, Viper has a write-up on what this does. It came with the chassis. You could either not use it or use it. They make one in a clear, even thinner. I like to use it because I like that it covers up the openings on the end bell. I feel like it might help keep it a little bit cleaner. Although you just got to make sure this stays flush when you're putting the motor in. Oop. I just made that click. All right, so we are going to go ahead and put this motor in and get it started. You want to make sure that the end bushing stays closer to the armature as well, so that it sits in where it's supposed to go. Now I usually like to start this, try and get your hangers up, make sure the magnets are down in there. You know what, I think I'm going to take these magnets out because they're making it a little hard to put this motor in. Okay. So we got that, kind of like that. That's sitting there like that, and you can see the tabs are sitting on top of the hangers. So you want to kind of either use a little tool to kind of push these back up. That's what I like to do. And then use this to kind of pry it forward a little bit so that you can get them past there. Just make sure they actually are past there before you push it down, and make sure because you could shear those tabs off pretty easily. Unfortunately, I know by experience because I've done it. But that looks like it's in good. Click that in. Make sure your end bushing is seated properly. And a little bit of play. I could probably shim that a little bit more, but we'll see how it runs. Feels pretty good. All right, so that's how you get the motor in. All right, next we are going to want to put these motor magnets back in. And for high downforce, you want the surface of the magnet that's going to go to the rail stick to the side of the motor magnet, so you put it in on that side. So this one I'm going to put in on this side. And this one is going to go in on this side. Make sure those are in good, nice and flush. I've already oiled, although I'm going to give it another little dab now that I have this open and can see it better. Let me give the rear a little bit of oil. Okay. Now we got to try and get this magnet clip on. It's a little tricky because this is a stiff chassis. The plastic is not very flexible. On the medium chassis Viper cars, these go kind of right on, but on this stiffer one, it's, yeah, there we go. That actually went on fairly easy that time. Okay, that looks good. Let's go ahead and pop in. I bought this rear end off of Amazon. Guy makes performance chassis and parts. Actually bought a whole kit. It came with these level 25, Pro 25 Cobalt magnets. Came with this rear end. Came with a 2.5 ohm balanced trued armature, ball bearing front and rear ball bearings, a Viper O-ring front end. It was a pretty good kit, and it was definitely it was like 40 something bucks. It was definitely worth it. So I took some parts from that kit. I took the magnets and this rear end. It's got pretty firm tires for high downforce. This one has a Viper 22 tooth gear. So let's pop this baby in. Feels pretty good. Gear mesh looks good. Let's see if I can manage to get these tiny little pins in here. There's one. There's the other. So that's your pinned rear end there. Okay. So next we have this independent aluminum front end I got from Viper as well. I got it in black. Comes in other colors, but I don't really do colors. So what I do is I take the little retainer piece there, I put it on a flat surface, I put the axle on top, and I just, with a small hammer, I gently tap it in to get that first one on. And you just slide it into the hub, put that through there. Then normally what I would do is I would put the other retainer in this hub and put it upside down on a flat surface and kind of, you know, push it in. But since I've already put this on a couple of times, it does loosen up. And you can push it on with your finger. You just want to make sure it's on there pretty good. It's good. Tiny little bit of play, which is what you want. I got some pretty stiff independent front end tires. I think these are 0.34 or 0.345. I don't fully remember, but they'll work fine. There we go. And last piece, let's put our springs in. These are 0.10 stiffer springs for this application since we're going with such a high downforce car. Put our pickup shoes on. I usually get it in the tab there in the front and I lay it on top of the spring. And then you just kind of push down and it clicks in. Do the same thing for this one. There we go. And that's it. We have our built up chassis. It looks pretty nice. Oop, I'm knocking over the camera. Sorry, guys. And that's from the back. That's a 7-tooth Viper pinion gear. I bought some HCS orange gears, but it felt like it was a smoother mesh actually with this Viper gear. And I figured I was going to go with this neon orange Lexan body, make it easier. Orange, I'm sorry, yellow. Make it easier to see this baby flying around the track because, you know, I can't see too good as it is with my old eyes. There we go. I'll go ahead and pause the video and we'll take it over to the track and make sure it runs. All right. We are back. We're at the track. Let's give this a go. No, it runs. That's a good sign. I'd say that runs pretty good. All right, guys. Well, there she is. She's all built, and I'm gonna go ahead and continue to break the motor in and the brushes in, and we'll take her for some official times, see how she does. But I appreciate everybody checking out the video. Appreciate everybody's support, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.